Hi, I'm Kevin Michalowski, editor of Concealed Carry Magazine. In this edition of Into the Fray, we'll talk about some alternate weapons and why I prefer a firearm. A lot of people talk about defending themselves, but they don't want to use a firearm. I can explain to you exactly why you should use a firearm by looking at a few of the other more popular alternate weapons. Let's talk about the tactical folding knife. This one is an assisted opener with a flipper on the back. It opens very quickly, gets you into the fight very quickly, but you have to realize, if you're fighting with this, you have to be this close. Yeah, that's a 4-inch blade. You've got to be at arm's reach and you've got to know what you're doing. And think about this, when you're standing toe-to-toe with somebody and you're fighting with a knife, you're probably going to get cut and you're probably going to get really bloody when they get cut. This is not something that's fun and easy to fight with. Fighting in and of itself isn't fun, but if you're fighting with a knife, things have gone really, really wrong and you're in trouble. Pepper spray. Everybody thinks pepper spray is a panacea. It is not. If you use pepper spray, chances are really good you will experience some cross-contamination. And if you haven't been subjected to pepper spray, it might just put you out of the fight as well. And pepper spray indoors, basically riot in a can. You spray this in a small room, everybody's going to be trying to get out. And that's just going to cause pandemonium. So how about an impact weapon? Here's basically what's called a monkey fist. This one has a steel ball bearing inside. But think about this for a minute. Again, where are you going to hit your opponent with this 1-inch steel ball that's going to cause enough dysfunction to stop the fight or give you a chance to escape? You could swing it at their head, but when you do that, it's going to hit his head and come back and may hit you in the wrist. If it catches you on the forearm right here, that's going to hit your funny bone and going to do enough damage to keep you out of the fight for a little while. You might be causing enough dysfunction with this impact weapon against yourself to put you out of the fight and give your attacker an advantage. I don't like that either. The expandable baton. Something a lot of people will buy, and as soon as they begin to carry, they decide maybe this is not right for me. Again, you're talking about getting an extra 18 to 21 inches on distance if you're swinging this baton, but it's something that you should train with extensively. If you don't know how to use a baton, you're not just pulling out a club and whacking away at somebody and trying to stop them. Yes, it might work, but what are you going to do if somebody gets hold of the end of your baton? Do you know how to get that baton back? Do you know where is the best place to hit them? Police training with a baton tells me to strike the upper arm or the upper leg, and that will impede the subject. That's what they want me to do with this baton. If you swing this intentionally at someone's head, that's deadly force. If you're going to be using deadly force, I say use a gun. Step back 10 or 15 feet and use your firearm to stop the threat. A baton in the wrong hands will end up in the bad guy's hands. Don't count on this to be the be-all and end-all of your self-defense activities. And the last one, really popular lately, is the tactical pen. Now these are great as last-ditch weapons. If you pull the pen out of your pocket and you're holding it as a stabbing or thrusting or pushing contact weapon, it will help to get you free. This pen is advertised to be able to be driven through a log if you're using a hammer or something like that. Great, but I'm not going to be driving anything through a log. I'm going to be fighting off an attacker. To do that, once again, we're at arm's distance and we're using this to try to create dysfunction. Unless you're trained and you know the proper pressure points and strike points, this is going to be of little or no use, and again, it's going to put you very close to your attacker at a time when you don't really want to be close to your attacker. A firearm is probably the most effective tool when you're trained properly to handle it. It gives you some distance and it provides superiority of force if you're faced with an overwhelming attacker. Now, if I'm going to choose one alternate weapon off the top of this desk, the one I want is the small tactical flashlight. Just like a firearm, it gives you lots of distance. Shine it. Oh, now the assailant is temporarily blinded. And again, what's the most important rule of self-defense? We want to cause enough dysfunction in the attacker so that we can escape safely. If you are going to use deadly force, I would suggest you use a firearm. Any of these other intermittent weapons take a lot more training and put you a lot closer to the bad guy. A flashlight and a pistol will serve you very well. I'm Kevin Michalowski, editor of Concealed Carry Magazine. If you like these videos, please share them with all your friends and subscribe to our page. We'll give you more great information every week.